At age 23, I had sudden onset OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, which was very debilitating when it first happened. At my very worst, I was in bed for about 3 months and barely got out of bed. So it would be, to go to the restroom, basically. Family would come and bring food to me and everything else that I needed. So that was very bad. I could shower upwards of an hour at a time, and sometimes that was more than one day. And sadly, for my gut, it was with antibacterial soap, so even worse for me. You could pick up one of my hairs and all of my hair would move. It was that bad. So that was at its worst, and I'll skip all kinds of details. But I was on many prescription medications for over 20 years. I was on 100 milligrams of Prozac for many, many years. I would go down a little to maybe 60, back up to 100. I was also on Xanax, Buspar, Klonopin, you name it, basically, Valium. I was on the whole, myriad of pills. What those would do for me is kind of like 1 or 2 ticks on a stereo dial's worth, just to where I could kind of function a little bit, but still not well. And I knew there had to be a different and better way. And frankly, I went back to many, many specialists. I went to various psychologists, psychiatrists, internal medicine people. I went to neurologists even. And frankly, when I first got my first neurology appointment, I was so excited, and I thought, this is going to be it. This is going to be my answer. And just like everyone else, though, it wasn't my answer, and it didn't really do anything. So what I would ask all of them after being, medicated heavily, still not functioning well, taking therapy, doing my work, doing my hard work, and still not doing that great, I would go back and say, hey, is there something else missing? Like, do I have missing nutrients, or am I vitamin deficient, or is there some other, thing going on in my body that is preventing me from getting better? And really across the board, I got no, nothing. There's nothing. None of that would make a difference. Take your prescription medication, go participate in your therapy, and that's really all you can do. And I knew there had to be something better. So I ended up skipping forward a little bit. 8 years ago, I ended up going off all of my medication, which is amazing. At that time, I did a year-long exposure therapy program for OCD, and it was very, very difficult. And so after this year-long journey, I was better mentally. My OCD was definitely improved. It did make a difference, but my body at that point was wrecked. And when I say that, I kept not feeling right, and I ended up to where I kind of felt like if I was a stick of butter standing up and you took a blowtorch and just started, blowtorching that down, like I would just feel like I was melting. And many other things going on. So what that program did not have, which I love how VMR has the whole community, people to reach out to, people who have gone through what you've gone through, those types of things. That is so awesome, and it's so nice to know that you're supported, and especially by more than just a couple family members or whatever, but also you're supported, and it's by people who have been there, done it, or they're going through the same types of things, which is really helpful. 4 years ago, I was under a lot of chronic stress, and at that point, my body truly, it started the 8 years ago, and it just it was never great. And then it just got 4 years ago, so much stress. My daughter has autism and seizures. My son at the time was an angry, anxiety-filled teenager, and my husband traveled a lot. So my health went downhill. And while I knew a lot about gut health and the gut and brain connection all through studying things for my daughter, because most kids with autism also have gut issues, So through all of that, I decided it was time to, you know, turn the tables onto me instead of it just being on her. So after I went back to many doctors 4 years ago, I had a Parkinson's-like tremor in my head, numbness, tingling, buzzing. That's just a few of the things that were going on. And I wasn't, just like with the psychological issues, I wasn't getting the answers I wanted from the mainstream medical field. Many specialists, 4 MRIs, all kinds of things. But it was left to, here, take this pill, here, take that pill. We'll see what they do. Again, I didn't like that answer, and I didn't want to just take that answer. So I ended up, after there were no great answers from them, I did a whole holistic approach for myself to get better. And, you know, that included meditation, grounding my feet, nightly bath, you know, things like Qigong and yoga, getting a massage, many different modalities, basically. And as I started to finally get much better, that's when I decided I wanted to become a health coach and help other people not go through all the things I had gone through. And that really reiterated again to me just the effects that chronic stress has on your body. It's chronic stress, you know, it of course goes with your mind, but it's not good on your mind either. But also it's not good on your body. So that's kind of my deal. So I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm really thrilled to have gone through the program. I pulled out many nuggets, many great things to use. And again, you know, I was already kind of out to break the stigma of mental wellness. That's something I'm really passionate about. And so I am super thrilled to have gone through this, and I'm super thrilled for everything Dr. Brogan's doing